dark with dark. Okay, and if you're thinking about putting electrical tape around this, you're wrong. Go to Home Depot and get some B caps before you continue. You should not be electrical taping these together. That's not how it should be. Because electrical tape will not stay on forever. You know, when things get moved around in here, it just pulls apart, and that doesn't do anybody any good, especially the next technician. All right, so you take your red and your black, okay, and those are going to be our primary power sources there for our takeover kit. Okay, so we're going to take these keypad wires and the remaining like bundle of this. We're gonna pull this down and through until we've got just that little bit hanging out. We're gonna take our keypad, push it back in the wall here. Okay. And now we're ready to mount our 2 gig takeover kit on the wall. Okay. Normally what happens is this will all come separate. Like I said earlier, there's 2 little stickies on the back of this that stick to the board or to the panel. And then this is your takeover kit. It comes with a little plate on the back, and there's a sticky adhesive that goes on the back of that and sticks to the panel as well. So it all comes individually wrapped and individually boxed so that you can use the parts as needed. Again, if you're trying to do it properly, then make sure that you use all of those parts and swap out the whole panel. All right, so we're going to take all of our wires and we're going to feed them through here. Okay. So now we've got just a little bit of room here between this light switch and our outlet. And so we're just going to go up a little bit higher with it, probably right about there. Okay. And now just hold that. Make sure you level it. Don't be a rookie. Alright, perfectly level, 4 screws, that's really all you need. Make sure you go in with these screws, you know, at a decent speed. That way you're not stripping out the drywall, and, you know, otherwise it just is sloppy and it leans off the wall, and you know, bad things can happen. So, okay, we're going to take our positive and our negative. Polarity does not matter. By polarity, I mean the red and the black. Sometimes, for example, on this smaller takeover module, the black has to be on the left, the red has to be on the right. With this, it can be red or black, black or red, either way. So polarity does not matter. Okay, but we're going to take those and we're going to plug it in right there. Alright, the next 2 over, you have a red and a black. This is the positive, so polarity does matter. You have your plus voltage, negative, or plus voltage, and then you've got your negative, your common. And those 2 wires are running from there to here, to my super switch, so that this can have power once I power it up. The next 2 over, these wires come in the kit. This is a red for your positive, black for your negative, and that is for your battery. And then you'll notice these other 2 wires here run up to the super switch, and that is also for the battery. So you take these, and a little note, generally these are scrunched down really tight, so you need to take a flathead, put it in there, and just twist it so they're open enough for the battery to go on. Otherwise they won't, you know, they just won't fit. And then this last wire right here, this is for all of my common wires from my front door, garage door, patio door, and that window, or the 5 windows that we have there. This is for all of those common wires, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take, okay, this is zone number 4. We're just gonna take one of these 2 wires. All right, so that's gonna be our common, we'll say. This is zone number 3. We're gonna take that common right there. Zone number 2, take one of the commons, we're gonna strip this back. And then this is zone number 1. I'm gonna strip that back, all right? So now you should have your 4 zones, common wires right there. I'm just gonna twist those together. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this white wire that is running straight to the ground on our super switch. We're gonna put that with all of those. And then you can either try to B-cap it or you can wire node it together like that. Okay, so now they all have a negative power, or they all have a common. They're all just one common. Then you're gonna take your positives, all right? Okay. So 4 positives, and you're gonna wanna cut these down a little bit. I generally will twist them like this, and there's 2 things you can do. One is you can either just bend them in half and squeeze them together real tight, or you can just snip them a little shorter. Reason being is you don't want wires ever to touch the board or to touch other wires, and so if you just put them in there super long, then they're bound to, you know, get messed up eventually. Sometimes they can cause a short and, you know, mess up your sensors, and you don't want to come back and return trip every time. So we'll take one of these 3 door sensors, and we'll just start on zone number 1, or terminal 1 of the super switch. Plug that in. And this is a small Phillips head that I'm using. You can use a small flathead if you want, it doesn't matter. Okay. Terminal 2. Terminal 3, and this one is terminal 4, the last one. Okay. Now what some people will do is they'll take this little bundle right here, which I will do at the end, is we'll take this and we will tuck it back into the wall so that all you'll see is this white wire running into the wall. You don't have this whole bundle of mess, you know, with all these wires. And so what I'm going to do is kind of just clean up a little bit right now. Like I said, I like my panels to look perfect, because when they do, I experience way less service calls. So I'm going to take this battery wire, put it up there, take these battery wires, put them up here. Okay, and then we're just left with these commons. Which we'll just tuck some of these back in here. Alright, so that's just temporary. Now we're going to take our bottom portion here. Remember, your green and white goes to your keypad power. And your black and red goes to this panel power up here. Okay, we're gonna curve these just a little bit. All right. Take our UB 12-volt universal battery. We're going to take this super switch first, black to black, red to red. If you do it the other way around, it's going to burn out. It'll burn your wire, so don't do that. Then you're going to take your red and your black and put it on there. When I say the other way around, I mean don't put your black on your red and your red on your black, because it will burn out. Alright, so now we've got this here. We've got our batteries plugged in, so this DC light right here should come on. And we're going to take our blacks here, our common, and we're going to plug in our transformer. And remember, the polarity on the transformer down here does not matter. So black could be on the left terminal, black could be on the right terminal. It doesn't matter either way. Put that here. Alright. Alright, so that is how you transform a hardwire system into a 2 gig takeover box, so that it's technically wireless. Make sure that you plug your panel wire in here, or your transformer in here, and then tuck these wires back in the wall. These two right here, that is for your 2 gig touchscreen keypad. And then you've got your battery plugged in here, and what I'm going to wind up doing is taking these two, tucking those in the wall, taking these two, tucking those in the wall, and then this orange one here will wind up tucked into the wall. And I'll do that real quick so that way you can see that cleanup. And then that's it. I'll move on to the 2 gig touchscreen, and that's going to be in a different section. So I'm going to clean up this box right now. Also remember that when you're doing a 2 gig system, your hardwire panel or takeover module, when you're powering it, you must plug in the backup battery first. You must plug in the backup battery first. Okay, remember that, because otherwise you're going to get a low battery indicator on all of your hardwire zones. Second, you must have your hardwire panel powered and ready prior to your 2 gig touchscreen being powered up, because otherwise it will not register the super switch and it will not recognize all of your hardwire zones. So you'll go to the 2 gig touchscreen and try to start learning stuff in, and